Ladies and gentlemen, I extend my gratitude to each of you for being present today. Allow me to pose a thoughtful question. Have you ever observed that some of the most resilient and confident women tend not to associate with large social circles? They neither seek attention nor get entangled in the commotion of crowds. Instead, they act with clear intention, prioritizing quality over quantity in their relationships. In a society that often equates success with the size of one's social network or the number of invitations received, these women distinguish themselves. They have mastered the art of self-reliance and find solace in solitude. Their sense of peace is not dependent on external validation, but is rooted firmly within themselves. Their confidence is self-generated, independent of external approval. Why is this significant? True strength lies in understanding one's intrinsic value. It is the wisdom to discern when to hold on, and perhaps more importantly, when to let go. These women have discovered the profound power of stepping away from relationships, environments, or situations that no longer align with their purpose. They possess the courage to say no thank you and confidently choose their own path. This is not to suggest that such women are without friends. On the contrary, they cultivate small but meaningful circles built on trust, loyalty, and mutual respect. They avoid superficial interactions, instead channeling their energy into relationships and endeavors that uplift and inspire. This selective approach allows them to focus on what truly matters, be it personal development, their family, or their aspirations. Today, I am here to share with you 5 guiding principles inspired by this lifestyle. These principles are straightforward yet transformative, offering a roadmap for anyone seeking a more purposeful and fulfilling life. They represent the habits and values that underpin the confidence, contentment, and resilience of these remarkable individuals. As we proceed, I encourage you to reflect on how these ideas can be applied to your own journey. Take notes if you wish, but more importantly, consider how these principles align with your vision for a life of peace, strength, and purpose. Let us begin. Choose good people over many people. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the people we allow into our lives. You see, life is not about the number of people you know, it's about the quality of those connections. It's about choosing good people over many people. And believe me, this simple principle can make all the difference in how peaceful and happy your life becomes. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt drained after spending time with certain people? Maybe you've walked away from a conversation feeling heavy or unmotivated. That's what happens when we keep relationships that aren't good for us. On the other hand, think about the people who leave you feeling energized, inspired, and supported. Those are the good ones, the ones worth keeping. Strong, confident women understand this deeply. They know that life isn't a popularity contest. They're not interested in having hundreds of acquaintances or being the center of attention in every room. What they care about is building a small circle of meaningful relationships that matter. They focus on quality over quantity, and that's where their strength lies. You see, the wrong relationships can hold you back. They can waste your time, drain your energy, and sometimes even make you doubt yourself. But the right relationships, they'll push you forward. They'll remind you of your worth, your potential, and the things that truly matter in life. That's why it's so important to be selective about who you spend your time with. Now, I want to make one thing clear. Having fewer friends doesn't mean you're alone. It doesn't mean you're lonely. And it certainly doesn't mean something is wrong with you. In fact, it's the opposite. It means you're confident enough to stand on your own. It means you understand your value and you're not willing to settle for less than you deserve. That's a powerful place to be. You only have so much energy in a day. You can't pour your time and attention into everyone. So the question is, where are you putting that energy? Are you investing it in relationships that uplift you, that encourage you, and that align with your goals? Or are you wasting it on people who bring negativity, drama, or superficiality into your life? Let me share something I've learned. You become like the people you spend the most time with. If you surround yourself with complainers, you'll find yourself complaining more. If you spend time with people who have no ambition, it's hard to stay motivated. But if you're around people who are positive, driven, and supportive, you'll naturally grow in those same ways. That's the power of your circle. So how do you choose good people? Start by paying attention. Notice how you feel after spending time with someone. Do they make you feel good about yourself? Do they support your goals and values? Or do they leave you feeling uncertain, anxious, or drained? Be honest with yourself. This kind of awareness is the first step in creating a circle of positive, meaningful relationships. And let me tell you, it's okay to outgrow people. It's okay to realize that some friendships or relationships are no longer serving you. Growth is a natural part of life, and not everyone will grow with you. But here's the key: don't let guilt keep you in places that no longer feel right. It's not selfish to protect your peace and prioritize your well-being. The right people will respect your boundaries. They'll celebrate your wins, stand by you in tough times, and remind you of your worth when you forget it. These are the people who truly matter. And when you find them, hold on to them. Cherish those relationships because they're rare and valuable. Now, let's talk about what happens when you do this, when you focus on good people over many people. First, you'll notice your stress levels go down. You'll feel lighter, freer, and more at peace. Why? Because you're no longer trying to please everyone or keep up with relationships that don't bring you joy. You'll find more time and energy for the things that matter. When you're not caught up in unnecessary drama or obligations, you can focus on your goals, your passions, and the relationships that truly matter. You'll grow. When you're surrounded by people who inspire and support you, you can't help but become a better version of yourself. You'll feel more confident, more motivated, and more aligned with the life you want to create. So here's my challenge to you: take a look at the people in your life. Think about the energy you're giving and receiving in those relationships. And ask yourself, are these people helping me grow? Are they lifting me up? Or are they holding me back? Be honest. And remember, it's not about having the biggest circle, it's about having the right circle. A small group of genuine, supportive people is worth far more than a large crowd of acquaintances. Choose good people over many people and watch how your life transforms. Love yourself first. Let's move on to something even more fundamental: loving yourself first. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the foundation of everything. If you don't value yourself, how can you expect others to value you? If you don't take care of yourself, how can you show up fully for the people and responsibilities in your life? Let me ask you this: when was the last time you truly prioritized yourself? I'm not just talking about taking a day off or treating yourself to something nice. I'm talking about deeply respecting and caring for yourself, your mind, your body, your emotions. You see, self-love isn't selfish, it's necessary. Strong, confident women know this. They've learned that to give their best to the world, they first need to take care of themselves. They don't wait for someone else to make them feel loved or appreciated. They create that love within themselves. And that's where their true power comes from. But let's be honest, it's not always easy, is it? We live in a world that often tells us to put others first, to stay busy, to keep achieving. It's easy to feel guilty for taking time for yourself. But here's the truth: if your cup is empty, you can't pour into anyone else's. Loving yourself isn't about ignoring others. It's about ensuring you're in the best position to support them. So what does self-love look like in practice? It starts with how you treat yourself. Do you speak kindly to yourself, or are you your own worst critic? When you make a mistake, do you beat yourself up, or do you show yourself compassion? Remember, the way you talk to yourself matters. It shapes how you see yourself and ultimately how you live your life. Think about your boundaries. Self-love means knowing what's good for you and what isn't, and having the courage to say no to things that don't align with your well-being. It might mean setting limits at work, stepping away from toxic relationships, or simply giving yourself permission to rest when you need it. Boundaries aren't about pushing others away, they're about protecting your peace and energy. Taking care of your body is another act of self-love. Are you eating well? Are you moving your body, getting enough sleep, and managing stress? Your physical health is deeply connected to your mental and emotional well-being. Treat your body with the respect it deserves, because it's the vessel that carries you through life. And let's not forget about your passions and dreams. Loving yourself means honoring what lights you up. It means making time for the things that bring you joy, whether it's a hobby, a career goal, or simply spending time with the people who matter most. Don't let life's demands push your dreams to the side. You deserve to pursue the things that make your heart sing. Now, I want to address something important. Loving yourself doesn't mean you'll feel confident and happy all the time. There will be days when you doubt yourself, when you feel like you're not enough. And that's okay. Self-love isn't about being perfect. It's about being kind to yourself, especially on the hard days. When you love yourself first, something incredible happens. You stop seeking validation from others. You no longer need their approval to feel worthy or valuable. Instead, you carry your own sense of self-worth wherever you go. And that, my friends, is freedom. When you walk into a room, do you want to be the person who's constantly looking around, wondering if you're good enough? Or do you want to be the person who walks in knowing they're valued no matter what anyone else thinks? That confidence starts with self-love. When you love yourself, it inspires others to do the same. People are drawn to those who carry themselves with self-respect and self-assurance. By loving yourself, you're not just improving your own life, you're setting an example for those around you. So how do we begin this journey of self-love? Start small. Commit to speaking kindly to yourself even when you don't feel like it. Set one boundary that protects your time or energy. Take one step toward a goal that's meaningful to you. Self-love isn't about grand gestures, it's about consistent, intentional actions that build over time. I challenge you to take a look at your life right now. Are you prioritizing yourself? Are you treating yourself with the care and respect you deserve? If not, it's never too late to start. Remember, loving yourself isn't just a gift to you, it's a gift to everyone around you. Because when you're at your best, you can give your best. Respect your own energy. Your energy is one of your most valuable resources, and how you manage it shapes every area of your life. Have you ever felt completely drained after spending time with someone, even if it was just a short meeting or a phone call? Or perhaps you've gone through a day where you felt scattered and unproductive because you were pulled in too many directions. That, my friends, is what happens when we don't respect our energy. Strong, confident women understand this deeply. They know their energy is finite, and they treat it like the precious resource it is. They're careful about where they invest it and who they share it with. They understand that not every situation, relationship, or task deserves their attention. You see, respecting your energy begins with awareness. Take a moment to think about how you spend your time and mental focus each day. Are you giving your energy to things that bring value to your life? Or are you wasting it on unnecessary drama, toxic relationships, or tasks that don't align with your priorities? I like to think of energy like money. Imagine you wake up each day with a certain amount in your account. You can spend it wisely, investing in things that bring growth, joy, and peace, or you can squander it on things that drain you and leave you feeling empty. The choice is always yours. Let me give you an example. Have you ever been in a situation where someone keeps asking for your help, but it's clear they don't value your time? Maybe they expect you to solve their problems, but they don't take action themselves. If you keep giving your energy to these situations, what happens? You're left feeling frustrated and depleted. That's why it's so important to set boundaries. Boundaries are a powerful way to protect your energy. They're not about being rude or cutting people off. They're about recognizing your limits and making choices that honor them. When you set boundaries, you're telling yourself and others that your time and energy are valuable. Here's another aspect of respecting your energy: learn to say no. For some of us, saying no can feel uncomfortable, even selfish. But I'll tell you, this is one of the most liberating things you can do. When you say no to things that don't align with your goals or values, you're making space for the things that truly matter. And let's not forget about rest. Rest isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. If you're constantly running on empty, how can you expect to show up fully for your work, your family, or even yourself? Respecting your energy means giving yourself permission to pause, recharge, and reset when you need to. If you had a car with a fuel gauge that was almost on empty, you wouldn't keep driving it without stopping to refuel. Right? Your energy works the same way. You need to refuel. Whether that's through sleep, quiet time, exercise, or doing something that brings you joy. Now let's talk about the people in your life. Are they adding to your energy or draining it? Surrounding yourself with positive, uplifting individuals is one of the best ways to protect and respect your energy. When you're with people who inspire and support you, Their energy becomes contagious, and you leave those interactions feeling motivated and encouraged. On the flip side, if someone constantly brings negativity, drama, or criticism into your life, it's time to reevaluate that relationship. It doesn't mean you have to cut them off completely, but it does mean setting limits on how much of your energy you give to them. Let me emphasize this point: respecting your energy isn't just about avoiding the wrong things, it's also about investing in the right ones. Spend your energy on the things that align with your goals, values, and passions. When you do, you'll find yourself feeling more focused, productive, and fulfilled. So how do we start respecting our energy more? Begin by paying attention. Notice what drains you and what replenishes you. Then, take small steps to protect your energy. It might mean saying no to a commitment you're not passionate about, setting a boundary with someone who tends to take too much, or simply scheduling time for yourself to rest and recharge. Respecting your energy isn't selfish, it's necessary. It's how you ensure that you can show up as your best self for the things and people that truly matter. And remember, when you respect your energy, others will too. As I wrap up this point, let me leave you with this thought: your energy is your responsibility. No one else will protect it for you. So choose wisely, spend it on what matters, and watch how your life changes when you begin to honor this simple yet powerful principle. Walk away from bad vibes. Let's talk about something that's harder than it sounds, but absolutely necessary: walking away from bad vibes. It's a skill that every strong, self-respecting person has mastered, and it's one of the greatest lessons life can teach us. Have you ever walked into a room or a situation and felt an invisible weight? Maybe it was a conversation filled with negativity, or perhaps it was someone's energy that just didn't sit right with you. That's what I mean by bad vibes. And here's the truth: your ability to recognize and step away from those vibes can shape the quality of your life. You see, life is too short to stay in situations that drain your joy, peace, and mental clarity. Yet many of us stay far too long. Why? Sometimes it's fear of confrontation, fear of being judged, or even fear of loneliness. But let me tell you something important: choosing to walk away isn't about weakness or giving up. It's about strength. Bad vibes can come from many places. They might show up in a toxic friendship where the other person constantly criticizes you or makes you feel less than. They might come from a workplace environment filled with gossip or unhealthy competition. They could even come from habits or routines that no longer align with who you are. Walking away starts with awareness. The moment you notice that something or someone consistently brings negativity into your life, it's time to take a closer look. Ask yourself, is this adding to my growth, or is it holding me back? If the answer is the latter, it's time to let go. Letting go isn't always easy. It can mean stepping away from people or situations you've grown accustomed to. But here's the thing: growth and comfort rarely go hand in hand. Sometimes you have to leave the familiar to make space for something better. When you walk away from bad vibes, you're not just removing negativity, you're creating room for positivity. You're making space for the relationships, opportunities, and experiences that truly deserve your energy. And trust me, the universe has a way of filling that space with things that align with your purpose. But let's address the fear that often holds us back. What if people think you're being selfish? What if you lose connections? Here's the truth: you cannot live your life trying to please everyone. People who truly care about you will understand and respect your decision to prioritize your well-being. And if they don't, perhaps they weren't meant to stay in your life for the long haul. Walking away also requires trusting yourself. Trust that your instincts are guiding you in the right direction. Trust that letting go of what's wrong will lead you closer to what's right. And most importantly, trust that you deserve peace, happiness, and fulfillment. What does walking away look like in real life? It could be as simple as leaving a room when the conversation turns toxic. It might mean unfollowing someone on social media whose posts constantly bring you down. Or it could be something bigger, like ending a relationship that's been weighing on your heart for years. Walking away doesn't always have to be dramatic. It can be quiet, respectful, and intentional. You don't owe anyone an explanation for choosing peace. A simple "this isn't working for me" is enough. The point is to take action. Don't just recognize bad vibes, remove yourself from them. Let me also say this, walking away doesn't mean you hold grudges. It doesn't mean you carry resentment. Forgiveness is part of the process, not for them, but for you. Forgive so you can move forward without the weight of the past holding you down. Here's a powerful truth I've learned: the act of walking away often leads to transformation. When you let go of what doesn't serve you, you open yourself to experiences that align with your values and aspirations. You begin to see the world with fresh eyes and step into opportunities that once seemed out of reach. And remember, walking away isn't about rejecting others, it's about choosing yourself. It's about recognizing that you are worthy of environments that nurture your spirit and relationships that uplift your soul. So my friends, take a moment to reflect. Are there people, habits, or situations in your life that are draining your energy, stealing your joy, or holding you back? If so, consider this your permission to walk away. It's not easy, but it's worth it. Because at the end of the day, the most important relationship you have is the one with yourself. And walking away from bad vibes is one of the greatest acts of self-respect you can show. So step into your power, leave the negativity behind, and embrace the life you truly deserve. Stay true to your standards. Let's talk about something that defines a strong, confident person: staying true to your standards. In a world where it's so easy to compromise, where pressure comes from every direction, holding firm to your values and principles is one of the most powerful things you can do. Let me start by asking you this: what are your standards? What are the lines you refuse to cross, no matter what? These are the principles that guide your actions, your decisions, and even your relationships. Your standards are your foundation, and without them, life can quickly become chaotic. The women who live with strength and confidence, they know their standards. They don't lower them to fit in or to please others. They don't compromise just to gain temporary approval or avoid conflict. And this is what makes them so admirable. But let's be honest, it's not always easy to stick to your standards, is it? There will be times when you're tempted to bend, when the pressure to conform feels overwhelming. Maybe it's a job that asks you to go against your values. Maybe it's a relationship that requires you to settle for less than you deserve. Or maybe it's as simple as staying silent when you know you should speak up. Here's the thing: every time you compromise on your standards, you chip away at your self-respect. And self-respect, my friends, is non-negotiable. It's what gives you confidence. It's what allows you to walk into any room with your head held high. Start by asking yourself what truly matters to you. What are your non-negotiables in life? Is it honesty, loyalty, kindness? Maybe it's a commitment to personal growth, or a promise to never settle for less than what you're capable of. Whatever it is, write it down. Make it clear. Once you've defined your standards, the next step is to protect them. This means being intentional about who and what you allow into your life. If someone doesn't respect your boundaries or values, it's okay to let them go. If a situation requires you to act in a way that doesn't align with your principles, it's okay to walk away. Staying true to your standards doesn't mean you'll always be comfortable. In fact, it can be challenging. There will be times when you feel isolated because you refuse to compromise. But let me tell you something: those moments of discomfort are temporary. The peace and self-respect you gain from staying true to yourself are lasting. Let me give you an example. Imagine a woman who values honesty above all else. She's offered an opportunity at work, but it requires her to bend the truth in a way that doesn't sit right with her. She could take the opportunity; it might lead to more money, recognition, or status. But deep down, she knows it would go against her values. If she says no, she might lose out in the short term, but she gains something far more valuable: integrity. And integrity is something no one can take away from you. When you stay true to your standards, you attract the right people and opportunities into your life. The people who belong in your life will respect you for standing firm. The opportunities that align with your values will find their way to you. It's like a filter. The more true you are to yourself, the more your life aligns with what truly matters. And let's not forget about the message you send to yourself when you uphold your standards. Every time you say no to something that doesn't align with your values, you're telling yourself, "I am worthy of better." You're reinforcing your sense of self-worth. And that's a powerful thing. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but what if I've already compromised? What if I've let my standards slip in the past? My answer is this: it's never too late to start again. Every day is a new opportunity to realign with your values. The past doesn't define you. What you choose to do moving forward does. So take a moment to reflect on your life right now. Are you living in alignment with your standards? Or are there areas where you've been settling? Be honest with yourself. And if you find that you need to make changes, take action. Remember, staying true to your standards isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's about making choices that honor who you are and who you want to become. And here's the beauty of it: when you stay true to your standards, you create a life that feels authentic, fulfilling, and uniquely yours. You stop chasing approval and start living with purpose. And that, my friends, is what it means to live with strength and confidence. Ladies and gentlemen, as we wrap up today, let me leave you with this thought: a woman with no friends or just a few close ones isn't alone, she's intentional. Her strength lies in her choices, her boundaries, and her unwavering commitment to her own peace and happiness. We've talked about 5 powerful lessons today: choosing quality over quantity, loving yourself first, respecting your energy, walking away from bad vibes, and staying true to your standards. These aren't just rules for a strong woman, they're principles anyone can live by to build a life filled with purpose, joy, and self-respect. The journey isn't always easy. Sometimes choosing your own path means going against the crowd. But the reward is worth it. You'll find peace where there was once chaos, confidence where there was once doubt, and a sense of fulfillment that only comes from living a life true to yourself. So whether you're a woman living by these principles or someone inspired to start, remember, this strength isn't about how many people are around you, it's about how grounded you are in who you are. Thank you for spending your time with me today. Take these lessons, reflect on them, and apply them in your own life. Because every step you take toward self-respect and peace is a step toward the life you truly deserve.